Hey guys, sorry for the delay. Good afternoon all. I hope till now all the sessions are going good. Myself Amit Tomar and I'm part of Aviz Networks. I'm Vice President of Sales at Aviz Network. I lead sales outside Japan globally for Aviz Networks. So I'll briefly talk about Aviz Networks. So we at Aviz Networks believe in driving the SONiC adoption by bringing openness, by building platform basically that can drive observability, scalability, and orchestration across disaggregated environments. So our philosophy is that if a customer has to adopt SONiC, then they need to go in a disaggregated support fashion because that's a big bottleneck and a roadblock that we see for the SONiC adoption. But in today's session, I'll be covering one of our solution that we had built through our partner, NVIDIA. Basically, it is based on their Spectrum series ASIC. And this is basically an open packet broker for 5G monitoring. And this solution is currently deployed with one of the leading service provider in Japan market. So I'll be talking briefly about this solution here. Our partners from basically NVIDIA people were supposed to join me as part of this discussion, but unfortunately due to some last minute changes, they were not able to join us in this session. So I'll be covering a brief about what they have to say. So I'll be standing in for both NVIDIA and Aviz here. So if I talk about the philosophy from NVIDIA, so what NVIDIA people believes is that innovation basically all the innovative organization, they have to adopt SONiC. That is what basically they are trying to do, and they will be using SONiC as a development platform for their data center and for their edges that will be of the future. So if you look at NVIDIA from the very early stage, like starting in 2015, they understood the importance of SONiC and they adopted the community version of SONiC in its pure play open source flavor. There are some vendors that you will see across the ecosystem, be it the switch vendor, be it the ASIC vendor, that have basically allowed their own closed proprietary distribution of SONiC to be used on their own hardware platform. But that is totally against the ethos of like a disaggregated network that all the people are trying to do. Because if you look from the SONiC perspective, the power that SONiC has, and that can only be achieved if it is purely absorbed in a pure community version of SONiC fashion. And how exactly is NVIDIA doing this? So NVIDIA has their pure SONiC that is available as a qualified public Git hash. You can go to GitHub, it is publicly available. And all of their Spectrum series switches, they are driving the accelerated support for pure SONiC. So they have their own versions, like in terms of Cumulus and all, but still they are largely driving the adoption of community SONiC. Now coming back to 5G and the use of GTP tunneling and monitoring within 5G. Like as all of you know that 5G is a big buzzword that's happening. And the all reasons that why there's a hype around 5G is like it promises ultra low latency, high throughput, high bandwidth for a lot of enterprise use cases. Like you talk about retail, you talk about healthcare, you talk about aeronautics, or any cutting edge use cases that needs that kind of high throughput, high latency for certain use cases. It can be around healthcare and all those things. But how exactly does it change the landscape? Like with 5G coming into play and so many use cases that any service provider can offer to enterprises, there's a need of a very focused quality of experience or a quality of service that can be promised to any customers. It can be like suppose there's a healthcare customer from hospitality, they have some hospitality use case and they say, okay, I need a slice of a network that I need to monitor that exactly, and they go to service provider, say, okay, I need to monitor exactly what kind of quality of services you are offering me and I'll pay you based on that quality of services. That is where this GTP based packet broker comes into the picture. So like if you talk about GTP, it is nothing but it is a GPRS tunneling protocol based on IP based communications protocol. And the way it can be used is like it can be used like if you do the packet broker solution based on GTP tunneling, it can do both control plane and data plane 5G monitoring, which is very, very critical for any service provider to monitor the quality of experience that they are offering to a customer. It can be enterprise customers or it can be a customer like you and me. And GTP Appear packet broker plays a very, very critical role, and in other sense in terms of reducing the volumes of traffic that can basically go for inspection. Like the reality is, the moment you start doing any packet broker solutions, you take a massive amount of data that are being gathered by the probes within the network, but you don't have to take that entire data and throw it towards aggregator. You need to slice it, dice it, you need to take the relevant information out, send it to aggregator for analysis. So you need to minimize the amount of data that you're throwing towards the northbound pipe. You need to minimize that pipe utilization. So that is where our solution comes into picture. So the way we have utilized and the SONiC for GTP is like this. In fact, our solution based on the NVIDIA Spectrum platform is the first industry solution that is pure play based on open source community SONiC, fully pure vanilla community SONiC this solution is based on. And this is the first 5G related or telco related use case which is leveraging SONiC to its fullest, okay? So what we are trying to do through this network packet broker is it will enable basically infrastructure for all the NOS services. It is built on a flexible microservices based architecture. It is containerized that can run on a switch itself. And we are leveraging the abstraction layer, the SI layer within this SONiC. We are pulling all the data through the SI layer, analyzing it, whatever the relevant information is needed. We are using that and sending it towards the aggregator. As I said to you earlier, we are leveraging the NVIDIA Spectrum switch families to provide the ASIC or to leverage the ASIC capabilities for deep inspection and the passing of the GTP packets. That's how we are leveraging this. If you look at the architecture of our solution, the way our architecture is, as I was telling you, it is a pure play container-based solution. It is purely based on microservices-based architecture. So if you look on the left-hand side, we have our SONiC NOS, and this is our packet broker solution that is running. So with the capabilities for GTP around GTP filtering, and it can basically pass traffic based on the tunnel endpoints, and it can be around the user inner header or the outer IP header. We can do the filtration based on that. If you look now, like the way SONiC function, the way we are trying to leverage the entire SDK. So we are leveraging the entire Spectrum SDK to capture the traffic from the ASIC layer that we can send northbound for analysis to any aggregator. So Redis layer we are using for data store, for OPB configuration and operational data. So all the data will be stored there. So that's how the solution is. So this is a small container. It can run both on the aggregator switches as well as the underlying switches within your packet broker network fabric. But the beauty about this solution is, okay, it is not bounding you to any hardware. Like you can go for any disaggregated deployment as long as that, it's a SONiC-based container. You can run it on any commodity hardware until unless that ASIC supports the SONiC functionalities. So you take our container, run it on any of the hardware. So of course this solution is built on NVIDIA Spectrum platform, but we are working with other partners with whom we are trying to build this solution on their platforms also. Currently, as of now, this is available on NVIDIA. We are trying to deploy this through EdgeCore also. We are working with Dell platforms also on this. So, and there are more platforms that will come into our pipeline. So that is what we are trying to do. In terms of the open network packet broker that I'm talking about, this is regarding only the GTP use case that we are talking here. But if you look at the entire use cases, the way we had built this packet broker, the use case are not limited only to 5G use cases. It can be any data center use case. It can be any basic use cases, like around VLAN and VLAN encapsulation, decapsulation. Like you name it and we have it. So if you want to know more about those things, like feel free to reach out to me. We have an open GitHub, Gitbook published. You can see exactly how this product works. This is already hosted on, okay, so this is one of the sample deployment that we have. As I mentioned to you earlier, this is running with one of the leading telcos in Japan market. So they have some deployments from Gigamon, and customer came back to us with a problem that they want to analyze the GTP traffic for certain use cases to monitor the quality of services that they are offering towards their enterprise customers. So this is the sample deployment that we have, both on the control plane and the user plane side of the house. We are doing all the load balancings and outer IP and inner IP versioning and stripping of those packets. Like as I told you earlier, this solution is already aware for demo at the NVIDIA Air portal. You can go and you can look at this solution. This link basically here, it talks about, like this is our Gitbook. You go to this link and you can basically know details about our solution, how exactly it can be deployed in your ecosystem. And yesterday, basically, we announced our open networking experience center, which we call as One Center. So you can register on that One Center. You can come, plug and play based on your use cases. So if you want to scan the barcode for that, so like this was announced earlier yesterday. So we have all the major vendors like Celestica is there, Cisco is there, Edgecore is there, Agile, Supermicro, and NVIDIA is there. So like it's for customers to come and play for their solutions, be it a packet broker solution or be it any solution related to networking. So like feel free to scan the code and book a demo with us. We'll be more than happy to help you. Yep, thank you. Any questions, guys? Yep. So like your first question exactly, like we are leveraging the current SDK layer or the current SI layer of the pure play community SONiC. So that is what we are doing. So there is a SDK built by the NVIDIA guys. So we are leveraging that SDK to pull out all the information. Regarding how the packet flow is, I'll just go to the previous slide. How the packet flow is, okay, I'll just show you one. Okay, so because I am not very sure on that, so okay, no. So I think we have deployed this on the downstream switches, and that is how we are sending that information upstream. But if you need detailed information around this, like I can connect you with my technical folks. I don't have much clarity on that, to be honest. Yeah, perfect. Yeah. Yep. Any other questions, guys?
For this use case, GTP,
Yeah.
what kind of KPIs are you reporting to customers?
So KPIs are majorly around, in terms of, I'll say, those are basically majorly around quality of service KPIs, like, how to put it? It's majorly around data services, like that throughput and like any drops that are being happening, and from that perspective. It can help you like from capacity planning and other aspects also. Yep. Any other questions, guys? Are we good? Perfect. Yep. I'll just, yep. Perfect, guys. Thank you. Thanks a lot. Yep.